Hey Internet, Eric here. Got an interesting one for you today, or not necessarily an interesting one, but spoilers, one that I really enjoyed. Just came out last year, so of course, like I always say, if you're new to my channel, welcome. I discuss plot spoilers and all that stuff. But I'm a huge comic book fan, and a huge fan of Superman. So I'm pretty excited to today discuss to you the movie Brightburn. Now, like I already stated, it came out last year, so especially spoilers and all that jazz. Um, ah, Basic plot of this is just think of it this way: what if you take the story of Superman, and instead of him learning about truth, justice, and the American way, and taking care of your fellow man and all that stuff, what if he decided to use his powers for wrong, for bad, however? Because this is basically that. We're following Elizabeth Banks and her husband. They live on a farm. I don't know if it's Kansas or not, but they live on a farm. They're unable to have children. And one night, a spaceship crash lands near their farm, and inside is a humanoid creature, a humanoid alien, whatever you want to say. And basically, he hits puberty and he starts getting Superman like powers. Um, Impervious to pain, you can't hurt him. Laser eyes, super strength, ability to fly, all that stuff. And instead of, like I said, him using it for good, he, once the hormones kick in, that's when he starts getting these powers. He uses them on a girl he has a crush on, some bullies, and other people that are kind of getting in his way for his plans, type of thing. That's it in a nutshell. Yeah, really liked this movie because, like I said, I'm a huge Superman fan. Uh, and I thought this concept was incredible. And first off, let's just get with the performances out of the way. Elizabeth Banks is really good as the mother, very likable. She's very good at wanting to protect her son. She's very good at being the loving mother. And then when she finds out what the kid's doing, I don't know if it says his name. No, at least not on the Netflix thing. Um, I buy her fear. I buy her terror. I buy her concern for family members and everyone else involved that is being affected by this kid's uh, change of heart, I guess you would say. So she does a really good job. Her husband, he does really good as well. He's the first one to realize of the two that this kid, I think his name is Brandon. Brandon, the kid's name. Um, he's the first one to realize that Brandon isn't what he seems. That Brandon's using his powers for bad, type of thing. Don't know the actor's name. The only thing I recognize him in, he was the one that was the boyfriend of the girl that Ewan McGregor falls in love with in Big Fish, what have you. But really like his performance as well. First off, as the loving father and husband, and then the switch when he finds out that Brandon is again possibly a psycho. Like that a lot. The kid who plays Brandon is really good, being this tortured teen. Doesn't know where he belongs in the world. You know, pun intended, however you want to say that. Um, I really like how he goes from sweet kid to not necessarily, I guess you would say troubled teen, but maybe you would, but from good slowly into bad, slowly into like madness. So this kid was really good. The other characters, they're okay, nothing special. The aunt who's the guidance counselor, she's likable. Didn't really care for her husband. I thought he was kind of a big dork. Especially the scene where he's being chased by Brandon in his pickup truck. I think he was there to be the comedic relief, however you'd say it. And I didn't care for it, but I didn't hate him. The only other character of note, like the mother of the daughter that Brandon likes, she hates him right away for good reason, but she's okay she's not a bitch because she's doing the way she's acting is to protect her daughter. So she's fine. And then I guess you'd say the police chief, if that is what he is, or the head detective investigating these accidents and missing persons, incidents, does what he's supposed to do. So characters overall are really good. I've already said I love the concept. Executed great. I love the look of Brandon when he switches his personas to this character, the superhero character. I love the look of it because it's basically, if you look at it, you can see that I don't think you see it on screen, but when he makes the outfit, but it's literally just his blanket cut up and sewn together in like a mask and a cape. Because you can tell it's his blanket because lots of times when he goes to bed, it's the same type of fabric. I just love the generic look of it. You can tell it was made by like a 12-year-old with like no resources. So I like the way he looks. I like a lot of the stereotypical camera shots pointed towards him, just standing there looking menacing at his would-be victims. That was really cool. Um, a lot gorier than I expected. It's rated R, and I expected it to be rated R just for like for some violence and excuse me, language of course. But man, there are two scenes that I can think of that are really really gory. Well, one scene that is gory, another that's not so gory but it's very wincing. There's I'll just say a scene that involved glass. I don't want to spoil this too much. That involved glass going into an eyeball and then getting removed. That was pretty wince-inducing. My wife actually had to turn her head, but it was really cool looking for a fan of gore. And then there was a surprise oh shit moment. I literally yelled oh shit at my TV when this happened. All I'm gonna say is it involves someone's jaw because I don't want to spoil it too much because I don't want it to lose that oh shit effect. So the eyeball and the jaw. That's all I'm gonna say. The rest is some implied stuff. I love the scene where Brandon has already gotten his crush on this girl in his class, um, because he's being picked on. She like sticks up for him type of thing. So he finds out where she lives and he watches her through the window. There's a scene where he actually is hiding behind her curtains, and she gets freaked out because she sees him. So she calls in the mom and says, "Hey, he's stalking me or he's watching me or some shit like that." Well, the next day it's in gym class and they're doing this trust exercise where you stand in the circle of the students and the students are pushing you and you got to catch them and then push them and catch them and push them. Well, Brandon gets pushed to the girl and she literally says, "Ew," moves out of the way and he falls and hits his head on the cement. Well, he can't be hurt, so obviously he's not hurt, but other than like his pride. And the teacher tells the girl to pick him up, extend your hand, help him up, type of thing. And he eventually does, and he grabs it and he, crunches her hand in a wincing effect. It looks really good, but it looks bad. You know what I mean? So that causes the mom to get mad at her or at him. The protective mom and all that jazz. But it's another really good effect. Not really gory, but it leaves an imprint in your head. So that the effects and the gore are really good. I wouldn't say subtle, but there's like two scenes. There's also a scene where Brandon uses his heat vision on somebody, and that payoff is really cool. Not as gory as say like the eyeball or the jaw, but really good. I love the ending of this movie. First off, I love the final act. Okay, Brandon is going crazy. Well, going crazy on the house. Elizabeth Banks is there all alone. He's flying through the windows or the walls of the house, just going crazy. And she's hiding under this table, well, talking to like 911 or something. And it's a very intense moment. I buy her fear. It's really, really good. But the scene I just thought of, like right before that, is either she calls him, Brandon, or Brandon calls her, one of the two. And it's this great, great fucking shot. And the basic conversation ends with Elizabeth Banks asking, "Brandon, where are you?" And it goes to this shot of him fucking floating in the air, you know, mile away from the house. But it's an over-the-shoulder shot of him over his shoulder looking down at the farmhouse. And he says something like, "I'm home," on the cell phone. Puts the phone to his side and then crumbles it. And then goes and attacks. That whole final confrontation between him and Elizabeth Banks is really good. I liked how that ended. I like how I won't spoil it, but I love how the actual movie ended. That I won't say. I thought that was a really cool idea. One of those sinister moments. And then I love I don't know if it's during the credits or it's a mid credit sequence of some internet like YouTube conspiracy theorist, wonderfully played by Michael Rooker, and he's talking about what happened in Brightburn, Kansas or Arkansas, where the fuck this takes place. But he's also mentioning, could this be related to this evil merman creature or this witch? So does this mean they're going to be spin-offs of the Brightburn universe, what have you? I hope so, because that would be really cool. Like maybe like an evil Justice League type of thing, with Merman and being Aquaman. Maybe the witch could be Wonder Woman. I don't fucking know. But I can't think of a lot of things I dislike in this movie. Really, the pace is really good. I can't really think of the score, whatever. Excuse me. Yeah, I can't think of anything negative really off the top of my head about Brightburn. Highly, highly recommend it. Again, it's a great concept. I love the idea of an evil kid Superman or evil Superboy, however you want to say it. They don't mention Superman in this movie at all, to my knowledge. So it's like he doesn't exist. So that's a cool concept, because anyone would be like, because Elizabeth Banks or the husband, they didn't really say, fuck, he's Superman. You know what I mean? Really, really good performances, or likable performances overall. Some decent looking gore to really good looking gore to some wincing looking gore, if wincing looking gore is even a word. But that was good. Love the ending. Love the final confrontation. Really good. Some really good shots. Some stuff I won't spoil, like the hunting expedition. I won't spoil that one. That was a really good scene. And then hopefully, because this did make some money, hopefully there will be a spin-off or a sequel or something. But yeah, in the end, I just said it. I highly recommend Brightburn. Even if you're not a fan of Superman, but it does help if you are. Highly, highly recommend Brightburn. And my buddy Joe over at the Horror Man channel, I mentioned it in my game slasher video for, I think it was Brain Scan. I mentioned he did a video on Brightburn for Slashback, and he's right. You can look at this as a bit of as a type of slasher film as well. Just kind of like the same way that you can look at Jaws as a slasher film or The Terminator as a slasher film. But again, highly, highly recommend Brightburn. So that's it. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, all that stuff. Click the bell. Anything else? Thank you to all the new subscribers, the new interactions I've been having. Thank you for the wonderful praise the podcast is finally getting. Appreciate that. Don't know what else to say, but we got some good things coming in the future. Cheers. Later.